live, let's groove and bite. Come on now. Hands on fire, thoughts taking flight. Together we shine, words intertwine. Get funky. Journal party live, it's journaling time.
All right, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing? Where's my music? There's my music. What's good? How's everybody doing this evening? I'm excited we're back. Last week was a little bit of a debacle last minute, so my apologies. I know I was really looking forward to that session, but we had a little bit of an emergency situation going on over here at our household. But first off, thank you for all the well wishes. Everything is a-okay. Everything's going to be just fine. My partner in crime has been having some vertigo issues, and we had a little bit of scare after she did a physical therapy session. And so yeah, spent the most of the evening in urgent care. But again, everything is a-okay, and just want to say it was really touching to get so many heartfelt wishes from all you guys. And obviously we don't ever want to have to cancel anything last minute or anything like that, but one of the things that's really cool about building a tribe like this is just that you really feel the love. And so in times like that, when you need the love, it means a lot. So I just wanted to say thank you for everyone, all your grace and understanding. And of course, you get back up, you get back on the horse. So we're back. Tonight, we've got a pretty solid program for you this evening. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. So this one lives in the gratitude and abundance vault, and it's called Abundance Mindset. So tonight we've got 10 prompts for you, 3 minutes per prompt, and I think this is we haven't done one like this in a while. I feel like sometimes I shy away from this type of stuff just because I don't want to get too too woo-woo, too new age. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with some positive thinking, and also just I regardless of how you come at it, I do believe that your thoughts and your state of being will largely determine the reality that you experience. And it's important that we get intentional about that. And our journals provide us with an excellent space to do that. And so tonight we got 10 prompts about abundance, about cultivating an abundance mindset. And so we got some stuff for gratitude in there. I'm just going to shine a light on some of the things that are going well in our lives. And by focusing on that, by focusing on our attention on what's going well, hopefully we can attract more of that into our lives. And ultimately, I think, we can have all the stuff in the world, but abundance is really a state of mind. And you know what? I mean, it's often that I need the program that we're going to be journaling through. And this one, I really needed it today. I need it today. And so I'm really excited to dive into it. I live a blessed life. Beautiful home, beautiful fiance, awesome dog, awesome skills, awesome community, all this stuff. And, sometimes even with all that stuff, it's easy to kind of fall into the doldrums of things. And when you get stuck in that space, unfortunately, it can kind of become a vicious cycle. And so it's helpful to recognize that you're in that space and take conscious action to correct it. And so I'm very excited to jump into these things. We've got a lot to be grateful for. We've got a lot to celebrate, and there's a lot of good stuff coming down, coming our way, right? It's so easy to focus on craziness. I mean, the news, everything that's going on in the world today. It seems like everyone just wants to focus on on the negative. And there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it, but there's also a lot of good. And I know that there's a lot of good in your life as well. Even if I don't, know the particulars of your life, I know that there's a lot of good in your life, and that we can focus on that and start to cultivate that, and hopefully experience more of the goodness in our own lives. So with that said, I'm really excited to debut this new Power Prompt playlist inside of the Journal Party app. If you don't have the app, let me throw up the QR code. You can always download it by scanning that. You can go to the Apple App Store, Google Play, and there's also a web-based version, which I actually use that one a lot. You just go to journalparty.com, and at the top, you can click into our app there, and even if you're on your desktop or whatever, you can get set up with one of our guided journaling programs. Another thing before we get started, you guys probably seen it. I launched my volume's low. Let me thanks for letting me know. Let me dial this down here. How's this? Is this a little better? It sounds better in my ears. It's so weird. Like I've got it at like a 5 out of 100, and it's still a little too loud. Craziness. All right, let me just get my levels set up here. Anyway, as I was saying, you guys have probably seen it. I launched some ads yesterday. We've I'm giving away some journals. So, I know I've told you guys, I've been, I designed these Journal Party notebooks. They've got the QR code in the back that link to all the free guided journaling programs and things like that. And, my initial mission when I started Journal Party was to get 1 million people to start journaling with us. And, it's still my primary goal. And, I just think that, if we could get 1 million people to be a little bit more intentional about their thoughts, how they show up in the world, and their own just state of consciousness and self-awareness, all that good stuff. If we could get 1 million people to just go within a little bit, I think the world would be a much better, more compassionate place. And so I'm trying to leave a ding on the universe, and that's going to be my way to do it. And it occurred to me that a journal's kind of a commodity, right? I know we got all these guided journaling programs here. And so I wanted to sweeten the deal for everybody. So I'm giving them away for free. I mean, people still have to pay for the shipping and handling because I'm not Amazon or whatever. But I'm doing a little experiment right now. And oops, that's the lifetime deal, which is not even a thing anymore. Wow. Anyway, so if you scan that QR code, you can get a free journal. A free Journal Party journal, get some Journal Party swag, and if you just cover the shipping, I'll send you one for free. So whether you need an extra one, or somebody who ought to be journaling, feel free to share that. Yeah, sorry, Felicia, I accidentally linked us to the to a different offer that was dead. So my bad on that. This next one that I put up should be working. Let me know if it's not. Anyway, just by virtue of you guys being in this community, you guys are probably going to see a ton of ads for this, because I'm really trying to get the word out there and get more people into our little self-reflective collective, as I like to call it. So feel free to snag a free journal if you want, and also feel free to share that, or feel free to use it if you want to, gift somebody a journal, or whatever. But I'm trying to make this as accessible as possible for people. So that's what we're testing out here. All right. So enough of the plugs. Let me hide this here. And everybody ready to start journaling? Wow, we're 15 after. So it's about time. All right. Let me hit the start now button. Go ahead and open up that journal, and I'll try not to crunch popcorn in your ear. Alrighty, let's get rocking. First prompt of the evening. Write about a recent moment that filled you with gratitude. How did it make you feel? All right, next prompt. What's already yours? Describe something you currently have in your life that you once dreamed about. How does it bring you joy? Next prompt. Abundance in action. Reflect on a small act of kindness you've done or received recently. How did it create positive ripples? All right, next prompt. Limitless possibilities. Imagine one big goal you'd love to achieve. What's one step you can take to move closer to it today? All right, I'm gonna pause it real quick for a second because got some notes on the music. So um, the way we have our music set up here, it's like a streaming station that our live stream gives us. So I can't. It's hard for me to just like pick songs, but I had a request to switch to softer music. Is the music too loud, or do we need to just find something like a little more chill? Like, will we be more? Um, would we rather have like ocean waves or something like that, or are we still down with the funk? Let me know. Easy listening stuff. Maybe I can find like a lo-fi station. So let me work on that in the background while we do this next prompt. But let me read this for everybody. So what's something you often overlook in your daily life but would miss if it were gone? The wealth within. Write about a personal skill, trait, or quality that you value most in yourself. How does it contribute to your success? Earning joy. Think of a time when hard work led to a rewarding outcome. How can that inspire your future effort? All right, support systems. Who are the people or resources in your life that make you feel supported? How can you show them, I'm sorry, how can you show appreciation for them? All right, overflowing future. Picture your life 1 year from now with everything you desire falling into place. How does it feel? Next up is manifestation fuel. List a few affirmations or beliefs that keep you motivated and focused on abundance. How can you practice them daily? All right, party people. Nice work, as per usual. Hopefully that was easy on everybody, and hopefully the music was all right. I got to work on, we're kind of dealing with these like royalty-free stations, and I think like a lot of it's like maybe even AI generated and stuff. So kind of a mixed bag with the music at Journal Party. But I do have access to some royalty free libraries. Maybe I'll have my assistant spend some time with me and go through and cultivate some playlists. It's always always want to keep it festive, but at the same time, like I know we're like reflective writing and like get going within, and so sometimes it can be distracting. So, thanks for the thanks for hanging out while we figure all that out. But all right, so how did everybody do with the prompts this evening? Hopefully pretty good. I always am in such a better mood after I do these things. I'm not gonna lie, I was not feeling it today. I was not feeling it at all today. You know, I was trying to figure out why, right? Like, what is it that led me um, towards like I guess down the wrong train of thought today, and the wrong just the wrong vibe. Like, how did I get on that? How did I get on that train? And I was thinking, it's like, well, my routine's pretty dialed in the morning. I get up and I journal. I do usually morning pages, like 3 pages, stream of consciousness, and been really good about hitting the gym lately. But I think that may be where I went wrong, because I took some like pre-workout, like just heavy caffeinated stuff, and the kind of stuff that like makes your skin prickle when you have a little bit too much of it. And like while the session was great in the gym, like I pumped some iron, felt pretty strong during it. Like I think I had a chip on my shoulder coming out of that, just like for whatever reason I was all aggro about it. And I mean, the other thing is like I normally have and I guess I missed this in my routine. I normally have like a meditation that I do in the morning, and that I usually follow that up with a bit of prayer. And I was writing that here on the end, because I've got some great affirmations and core beliefs. Like I think, for the most part, I feel pretty good about my lot in life and how I show up in the world. But it's real easy to jump on one of these crazy trains of thought. And so I was just thinking like, well, how do I implement that manifestation fuel on the daily? And I really think it kind of comes down to just needing to take time to tune in to what the layers underneath the surface, because it's so easy. I'm guilty of this. Like first thing in the morning, I'll often grab my phone, and what pops up is like, whatever fires need to be put out for the day, whether it's business stuff, people want stuff, people need stuff, promises I've made that, somebody else fumbled the bag on, or whatever it is with that, or just the news, right? It's like so-and-so did this and it's going to affect all of our lives. Or, I mean, gosh, you guys probably seen the news with, the CEO murderer guy, and I've never seen anybody cheer on him like a guy for committing murder, but like that tells you something about the state of affairs today, right? Like there's just it's a wild world that we're living in. And when you just look at the material components of it, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Like there's no ignoring that there is like this massive wealth gap, and then like, like the rich just keep getting richer, and like they like just keep amassing all this power, and like doing all these things to like, protect their lot in life. But like, it's like, all right, well, what about everybody else? And it's tough because like on one hand, you want to have compassion. You want to, I just have empathy for people. I truly believe that we're all one when it comes down to it. And so, you can't ignore that, the masses to a large extent are suffering. But the flip side of that is that like, well, what are you supposed to do about that? And I think that, it's not to say that there's nothing you can do about it, but positive change, and just talk about this evening's theme, abundance. It starts within. It starts with you. Like there's no amount of scrolling, like doom scrolling, or just getting angry, like and stewing in that you can do that's going to make you feel better. And of course, from that state, like it's going to be very difficult to attract good things into your life and into your existence. And so it's tough because it's kind of like once you get on that train, like you're on that ride, it's really hard to like snap out of it and correct yourself. And so for me, like that was a big insight for me, is like I'm pretty good about my routines, but I really need to get better about having that little bit of a check-in with what's going on under the hood, beneath the surface, and making sure that that's non-negotiable for me. Because I think that when you go within, when you embrace silence, people have different names for whatever this like unified field is under everything, right? But there is this layer, I think, where there's infinite possibility, and it's sort of like timeless and outside of all this what is probably like just mass illusion, right? Like all this stuff going on. Not to say that like people's plights aren't real and stuff like that, but like I think that in the grand scheme of things, like a lot of like our troubles are manufactured, and not actually the deeper reality of things. And so for me, that was a big thing here, is like, yeah, okay, like all of this stuff is great. It was really easy for me to find things that I'm grateful for and all these blessings in my life. But if you don't take time to actually get in touch with the things that are important, it's so easy to get just hijacked, and then you have a bad time because of it. And so I was kind of wallowing and stewing today. Fortunately, I have my wonderful fiance who's feeling much better now. It will give me a little back rub before the session this evening, and kind of calmed me down and reminded me to look at my dog, who's hilarious looking. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's sometimes a challenge to find the good stuff, but when you do, it's like really savor it. We're only on this rock for so long, and one of the things that we do have control over is our thoughts, at least when we become aware in the present moment. And so that's yeah, I mean, it's an exercise. It's not always easy, but it's important. So that was the big one for me. So let me tune in and see what you guys had to say. Darlene had a great journaling session. It's always good. Misty, I'm always in a better mood as well. I think it's the clarity it brings for me and the act of writing itself. Yeah, for sure. There's something magical about that. Kinesthetic connection. I remember, like, when I was learning psychology, you learn like how everyone has different modalities for things. Like some people are visual learners, some people are auditory, some people are kinesthetic, which is like kind of a cool thing, learning by doing and action and stuff like that. But I think to some degree, like all of those are levers for all of us. And there's something so powerful about like that moment when your pen meets the page, the ink is flowing out, like it's flowing through you, and I wish I could articulate it better than that, but I it's some kind of magic. So I'm glad you get to experience that. Darlene said, prompt number 1 was good for me today. I realized just how much my daughter has grown as a woman, wife, and mother. She is such a boss lady now, and she was not that growing up. Today I saw it, and I was so proud. That's awesome. You should tell her that. I hope you do. It's even if it feels trivial, like just those little nods of appreciation and recognition go a long way. I know that, like when even though like I try not to rely on the good opinion of others, particularly like my parents, and being a people pleaser and stuff like that, like when you do get that little nugget of recognition, it means the world. So I hope you can relate that to her. Kathy said, grateful there's no broken bones in my foot after a car service vehicle ran over my foot before Thanksgiving. Grateful my kids know how to cook and helped out. Well, yeah, great that they can cook, but I'm glad your foot's all right. That's wild. Man, I've always been afraid of that, but it's never happened to me. Man, that must have hurt. So yeah, I'm grateful no broken bones as well. And yeah, take care of yourself. It's tough, Gabby. Sorry to hear about that. Darlene said we have to focus on our own lives more and observe what is going on in others' lives. Yeah, it's tough. Um, I'm not sure what like the right mix of all of that is. Right? Because like, I mean, on one hand, it's like, I don't ever want to be like prying or like I guess like participating too much in someone else's experience. But then again, there is always that appreciation for like empathy, compassion, and shared experience and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I know personally, a lot of the grief that I experience is caused just by getting annoyed with like the things that I can't control, specifically as they come through other people. So like I mean, I was journaling about this earlier because I was all pissed off. Like I was But it's like, man, when you work real hard on something and you do everything that you're supposed to do, and then somebody else doesn't do it, it's or like they drop the ball or whatever. It's like, oh my goodness, but I you can't control that. I mean, I guess you can say something about it, but man, it's a delicate balance, I would say. But yeah, like ultimately, all we can do is identify the things that we ourselves can control, and hope for the best, I guess. Kathy said, a simple good morning and a thank you seems to spread to a wealth of people. Simple politeness can give you better care, service, and sometimes a sincere smile. Yeah, totally. And I got to remember that. For the most part, I'm pretty cheery. But like when I, you know what it is? It's like pride. I think sometimes I can be prideful. And like pride is like a tricky one on like the whole scale of emotions because like I would say it like skews towards like the positive end of things, but like when you succumb to that pride, it's real easy to like have like like certain expectations that may not be merited or deserved, or I don't know, whatever it is. Like it's I know that I have a tendency to sometimes become prideful, and like it colors my experience to, whereas like if I were to just like accept, I think that's where I need to get, is that like that acceptance. And like when you find acceptance, like it's easier to just be to I guess accept things, to be polite and cheerful, and you're right, like that positivity is it's obvious how much better your experience is when you're putting out the goodness. But like I mean, sometimes like I guess that's that pridefulness coming in, like it's like I deserve to be an asshole right now. But that's just me, I guess. Alicia said, number 5, hidden treasures was my key prompt. Each week, there's at least one that really resonates with me. That's awesome. Cool. Let me write that down. I'll take another look at that, because I'm always trying to improve the prompt sequences for everybody. So the feedback is really really helpful, and it won't hurt my feelings if one of them doesn't land with you. Not all of these prompts are gonna always land, by the way, but when I can figure out like what makes a good prompt, or what makes like a good series of prompts, I can serve you all better. So yeah, appreciate that feedback. All right, I think we must be getting to the top of the hour here as my lights shut off. Do you have the prompts written somewhere? Yeah, so I mean, all of these are in the app, and so if you go into the gratitude and abundance vault, you can revisit these prompts anytime you like. And just as a practice, like if you're looking to create your own prompts or anything like that, I use Google a lot. I mean, I know they use a lot of like AI and stuff now, but like it's actually pretty good. You gotta be careful with that stuff, because you can kind of generate yourself into into circles. But I would say like Claude and Google. If you ask it what you're looking for, it's gotten much better, I found, at materializing useful resources. And so a lot of times what I'll do is like I'll find like a collection of prompts that's been written by like a counselor or a therapist, and then kind of rework them a little bit to fit whatever the theme is that we're doing. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, we have all the prompts in the app, and then you can always go into the Journal Party Live section, which is it's free inside of the app, and we host all the replays there. So if you ever need to go back and catch those, they're there for you. And he says, prompt about missing things if they weren't there. I woke up to no heat or hot water both Thursday and Friday last week. Ouch. The whole building was out. Super grateful to have it back. Yeah, I'll bet. I've only experienced that like a couple times. I mean, fortunately, I've always grown up in like warm climates, so like the the temperature of the water was never or lack of heat was never too bad. But oh man, you just brought back a crazy memory. When I was in college, gosh, so this would have been 2006. In 2006, I was there, and I was living in a frat house, and the guy who was supposed to be like in charge of the house and everything, he decided to like move in with his girlfriend, even though like they like our charter said that they were supposed to live in the house with us, and like our water heater boiler thing exploded, and like so we didn't have hot water for like 2 weeks, and oh man, like it just brought back a bunch of crazy memories, and I was campaigning, writing posters on the wall to oust this guy. Such a jerk. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why I shared that, but I appreciate the triggering of the memory there. I mean, I'm glad you got your water back. You said the affirmations, this too shall pass. Yeah. Oh, it's such a good one. I was saying that to myself today because like I told you I was in a bit of a funk, and I'm like, I know it's gonna pass, but it's also like that gosh, that I was almost annoyed by that even because I was just like, well, then why won't it pass? Like I gotta sit here and deal with this right now. It's like, yep. Sometimes that's the cards. Tasha, what's up? Oh, by the way, I got confirmation that your deck is out, and hopefully you should be getting it soon. So sorry for the delay on that. Our shipping partners kind of, I think they're just swamped with all the Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff. But do have confirmation that your deck of cards, journal party cards were sent to you. So hopefully you get that soon. Anyway, I said I like to show kindness to my friends, nieces, and nephew by sending them encouraging scriptures via text and sending cards in the mail. Sometimes I send letters. That's awesome. Yeah, I miss letters. Like when I was younger, I used to like this was like in the beginning of the internet, and thank goodness I didn't like accidentally get in touch with like the wrong person because it was like the wild west back then. But I used to find out, and like when I was a kid, I used to find pen pals to write to on Prodigy Internet. I didn't have AOL, I had Prodigy, and man, I missed that. I had so many like little pen pals, and I would write them, and I just learned cursive, so I'd write them letters in cursive, double space, and everything like that. And man, I love getting stuff in the mail. Maybe I was thinking like maybe we could do like a journal party. Like box or something like that. Maybe like because I plan on releasing more of these decks, and I was thinking about maybe doing like doing a thing where like because if I know how many people are going to be wanting them, it's much easier for me to order a bunch of them in bulk and not totally lose my shirt. So yeah, I don't know. I just love getting stuff in the mail. So I was trying to think of like ways that like we could send you guys stuff every month. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any ideas about that. But I thought that would be cool. Kathy said, sometimes I had that moment when I deserve to be an asshole because I'm still human. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, like, as much as I would love to get on here and act like I'm holier than thou, like, no, I think it's just not how life is. And, fortunately, I'm surrounded by people who know my heart, and they, are willing to forgive me and, give me a little forbearance on some of that stuff. But yeah, man, sometimes it's just like, oh, sometimes like I just get you can't help but succumb to the pride and self-righteousness, and hopefully that too shall pass. But yeah, human beings, it's part of our thing. We all want to be significant, and sometimes that rubs up against other people's experience and stuff like that, and it just doesn't do right by us. But I think this work that we do trends us in the right direction, hopefully. Misty says Pinterest has some good prompts sometimes too. Yeah, for sure. Pinterest definitely. I've seen that. We've started posting them on Pinterest, so maybe you even see some of the journal party prompts on there. Darlene said, "You don't have a prideful nature, Alex. You know what you want, and it makes you frustrated when you don't get it, and that's perfectly okay to me, as long as you don't hurt anybody in your human moment." No, I that's the thing. I don't hurt anybody. I hurt myself. There's a quote. I love it, and I'd probably butcher it every time I use it, but it's the idea of like harboring a grudge or holding on to anger is like grasping, holding on to like clenching a hot stone, like a burning hot stone with the intent to throw it at the person who offended you. And it's so true, right? Like they don't know, they don't care. It's like, but I'm the one getting hurt because I'm just, gotta let it go. That's another big tenet for me is just, becoming aware and then letting it all go. And he said, letters are a dying art form and should make a comeback. I agree. I agree. It's just connection in general. I mean, as great as all this like online stuff is, and I feel like this, this little thing's the exception here because we're actually connecting and being vulnerable and open with each other. But it's so easy to just like, you know, shoot someone like a two-word text and like or whatever it is, like, or the way that people just like on like threads or Twitter or any of those platforms just like shouting out into the ether. It's like you're not communicating with anybody. It's like, okay, like, I don't know. It's a lot of, I think it's a lot of like self-serving, the identities that we've crafted for ourselves. But it doesn't, you don't have to look too far these days to see how like divided we are. And I think it's largely just because we've sort of become okay with not actually having legitimate connection, like real meaningful connection with each other. And so I think it's cool what we're doing here. And if we can all maybe be a little bit more intentional about like if you think about someone and you're appreciating them, like, don't keep it to yourself, reach out, pick up the phone, right? My mom used to always tell me that, like, if you think about somebody, call them, because you never know when they might not be able to pick up the phone. Again, I know that's like a little macabre or morbid or whatever, maybe that's not how she meant it, but yeah, no, like, if you're feeling the love for somebody, tell them. Let's see, a lot of people loving the letter writing. Awesome. Kathy said, it's great when my support systems step up knowing I can't financially repay them. They will take my knowledge on a topic they're discussing at a meeting or my advocacy skills for proper services so I can repay with my skills. That's good. I mean, that's like a really kind thought. But you know what? Like, I would say there's like a hint of like not being valued in there, and I mean, I hope that you can get into that pocket, right, and find a way to get like actual financial compensation for some of the value that you're delivering. I complain about that myself all the time. It's sometimes it's like you feel like you give, and it's like people, say thank you, they love it or whatever. But it's like, man, these days, like, whew, that dollar, it's tough, right? Obviously, we don't want to focus on that and make it all about that. But like, the other thing about that, and I guess it kind of ties into the whole abundance discussion is, what is money? What is a dollar? What is that? I mean, and all it is it's an idea. Like, the paper's not really worth anything. It's what it is. It's a representation of value. And so, when it's not coming, it's easy to not feel that value. And so, look, if I had the answer to make that come, I would I'd sell a course on it or something, be rich. But yeah, I mean, I would just say, that's my hope for you, though, is that, that you feel fully valued for everything, and not just for being a nice person, right? Like, it's nice to also receive compensation for things. So, wishing that for you. Mary Kay said, mine was, what can I learn from this? What can I be grateful for in this one moment? There's always something. I think, like, it's important for us to like train our minds to go there. I think there's times where, like, I'll get into a funk and I'll notice that it's my tendency to look for the thing that I'm upset about, the thing that I don't like, the thing that I feel is missing. And I think that's one of those things that's kind of like exercise. Like, it's like almost like a muscle. Where we got to get those reps in to reach for the better feeling thought, reach for the thing that we can appreciate. Some, like, even if you're on a walk, right? It's like, you see a beautiful flower. It's so easy to like just let that be the background noise of like your experience. But it's like, well, how cool is it that there's like something colorful that like you can perceive those colors, and it grew from a lineage of seeds, and like all these things that are here that like we love and that we enjoy. Like, there's so much more than even what's manifesting in that moment. And it's I mean, what you said, like, what can you be grateful for in this one moment? Like, I think, to even take that a step further, it's just like, okay, like once you acknowledge it, like, dive deep into it. There's so, like, it's like the tip of the iceberg, and then below that is just magic, just pure magic when we when we let go of all the nonsense, all the head garbage, right? Like, it really is a beautiful world. Darlene said it's okay to have a moment, ride it out, and let it go. Yeah, easier said than done sometimes, but yeah, 100%. Kathy said, affirmations, feelings are not facts, but it's a fact we feel. Yep. Yeah, you are not your past, nor are you your future. You are who you are right now. Yeah. Oh, what is it? That Eckhart Tolle book is great, making me think of it. The Power of Now. I mean, just getting out of the past, like getting your head out of the past or out of like the future, like, and getting in the present. I mean, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but I think that, like, if you sit there and you allow even the things that are uncomfortable to be present in the now, like, they have a tendency to pass. Like that. I mean, that's the one constant is change, right? And everything is turning into something else and morphing into something else. And I think it's our job to bear witness to that. And beyond that, I think it's our job to love and to appreciate that. And that's really, I mean, I guess you could think about the past and like appreciate a moment in the past, but that's just it. It's like that's like a yearning, like that's almost suffering in a way. Same thing for when we're yearning for some sort of or longing for some sort of like a future, imagined future event. I know we do that in prompts a lot, but I think, like, the cool thing about that is that we're doing it in the here and now, like that, again, that moment where the pen meets the page, and we're in touch with, like, the totality of that whole thing outside of time. And we can really, well, I think it's there that we can really create what it is that we want in our lives. And so, yeah, I mean, you guys all get it. I'm sure. I just, there's a lot of wisdom in this group, and I love it. I was feeling like the nasty funk, the bad funk today, and you guys break me out of it. I feel so good now. I feel so happy, and it's I really appreciate that everybody shows up. It's super cool, and hopefully we can keep this thing going and growing, and I'm sure we will. I certainly need this in my life, and so yeah, really appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart. I hope everyone's gearing up for an awesome holiday season. I'm actually oh man, I gotta pack a bag. I'm leaving my house at 4 a.m. today, well, tomorrow, technically, to go to Charleston. I'm meeting up with my mom in Charleston. My fiance and I are going to be flying out there, and gonna do some, like, ghost tours and stuff. Thought that'd be kind of fun. So I've never been to Charleston. I hear it's pretty. I hear it's awesome. So looking forward to that. Right? Got to focus on the positive. Right? Lots. The abundance is there if you look for it. And so I hope this was helpful for you all in cultivating the type of mindset that you deserve to have, one that's abundant, full of joy, full of love. And if there's ever any way that I can support you in that, please let me know. But I appreciate you all, again, from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And as always, this is me signing off. Party on.